Welcome back to MLM Recruiting Mastery System. This is Module 4, and we're going to talk about the effective presentation formula. Very simple formula that allows you to create a presentation that your prospects will remember. Okay, what's the most important thing for a presentation? Don't bore your prospects. Now, I know you know what I'm talking about. You've been to presentations that are really boring, and you really want to get out of there, right? So if you think it's boring, what do you think your prospects are thinking? Here's the good rule of thumb. Your prospect doesn't necessarily remember the company nor the products. Okay, when they go home, that means they're not going to remember any of that stuff. But what they definitely remember is their experience. So was it fun, exciting, energetic, or is it dull and boring? Okay, remember, if it's dull and boring, your prospect always thinks they got to do what you did to them. So if the presentation was boring, they gosh, when I joined this business, I got to go through this boredom every single week, every single day. No way. And they're out of there. So, okay, remember, the prospect always remembers their experience. So the effective presentation form basically states your presentation has got to be short, it's got to be relevant, and it does not need to cover all the details. Here's something that's important for you to understand. More information is not better. And I remember back in the day, I had slides, it's like embarrassing to admit, 120 slides. I'll cover every little thing, afraid I was going to miss out on the pay plan, miss out on the detail about the product, or there was a study that backed up the product. I'll put it in there, everything. And the presentation was over an hour and 20 minutes long just to bore the heck out of people. I'm sure you heard of ADD, short attention spans. People have really short attention spans now. So you got to keep it short, and relevant means related to them. So if a prospect, you can tell, is really excited about products but not that interested in the business, then don't spend any time talking about a business. And also, if someone is excited about the money, don't go into detail wasting time about the products, right? It's got to be relevant to the prospect. Remember, in Module 3, we talked about marketing. Is you want to customize everything, what's suitable for that prospect, okay? Give only what the prospect wants. And the effective presentation formula basically makes it very simple for you. So more information is not better. You don't need to go over the details. So here are some of the benefits of the effective presentation formula. Number 1 is simple and short. Number 2, the formula can be used for different formats, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a group presentation, or whether it's a webinar. Okay, you can use for different formats, and it can also be used for for a 60-second elevator speech. So you know what I mean by that? When someone says, "What's your business about?" Right? Tell me about your business, or what is it about? You know exactly what to say. So 5 things your prospect wants to know. Number 1 is the industry. What industry? What are you doing? Number 2 is the company, right? It's a little background information about your company. Number 3 is the products. And number 4 is, can I do it? It's the training that you have to emphasize. Remember, your prospect has 3 doubts. Is this for real? Can I do it? And will you help me? Okay? Can I do it? And will you help me? Those are the 2 that normally prevent people from joining. So can I do it is really important. And so you're really selling the training. And number 5 is show me the money, how much money they can make. So let's talk about the first part, presenting the industry. You're actually in 2 different industries. You're in the industry that your products is in. So for example, if you're selling supplements, then it'll be in the health industry. If you're selling gas and electric, then you're in the energy industry, right? If you are doing mobile, then you're doing telecom. So that's the industry. And number 2, the other industry we're in, obviously we're in direct selling or network marketing. So here's the rule. You should not explain how MLM or network marketing works because it's really difficult to do so. Okay. Instead, use the tool. That's the ideal situation. Use the tool to explain how the pay plan, how everyone gets paid. Because, like I said, if people start asking you, start going into it, you can't. You got to be sell the trailer, not be the movie. Very, very difficult to explain network marketing really quickly without boring people or confusing people, or you sounding like a novice, a beginner, because you can't explain it well, right? It makes you look bad. So best way is to use the tool. Now, in the short presentation, just say the elevator pitch or 3-minute, 5-minute presentation, for example, like an upline, the upline script. The reasons why you should not say network marketing is because, again, the goal of this short presentation, like an elevator pitch, is to create curiosity so you can set up a longer, bigger meeting. There are misconceptions about network marketing, and you can easily educate your prospect in network marketing, but it requires more than a few minutes. And you don't have time to explain network marketing. It's much simpler to say, I'm in the health industry or energy industry, right? Now, but if the presentation is a little longer, you're doing like a hotel meeting, you can bring up its network marketing. So let's imagine if you had a longer presentation, where people want to know how does it actually work. Right? Here's a couple of simple things you can say, and I'll keep it as simple as that before I use the tool. You can say, it's something we're doing already, but we just don't get paid for it. Okay? So, for example, I recommend Apple products all the time. It's something we're doing already, but we just don't get paid for it. Like, I was recommending a book app, recommending certain books. I was recommending certain gadgets for your iPhone to do better Facebook Live, better videos, right? Hey, it's something we're doing already, but we just don't get paid for. I don't get paid for it, but I recommend a lot of things. Now, number two is you like something, you recommend it, right? We earn commissions for recommending products. So, for example, you can give examples like recommending restaurants, movie gadgets, just like the way I've done. Now, the three benefits of the industry, and these are, when people say, how does network marketing really work? Well, why is it good? There's three benefits. Number one, you get to buy at the wholesale price, right? So, if you're listening to this, you're in your company, you're an active distributor, you get to purchase the products at the cheapest price, at the wholesale price, right? The second benefit of the industry is you get to earn a retail profit, right? So just say your neighbor or your friend wants to buy products from you, you sell at the retail price, and you make a retail profit, right? This is a very typical buy low, sell high. And then the third benefit is you get a word of mouth, what I call a word of mouth marketing bonus. So, for example, if you tell your neighbor about the products and he purchases from you, you get a retail profit, right? And number three, like maybe afterwards, you say, wait, you're making money off of this? How do I do that too? Well, let me become a distributor as well so I can get some free products. So when he becomes a distributor, how did he know about this? He knew about it because you told him. So that's why you get a word of mouth marketing bonus. So those are the three benefits. And so even if for distributors never made any money, they still benefit. Why? Because you get at the wholesale price. You get to purchase the product cheaper than everyone else does, right? And also, if you want to build a little more, you can do a retail profit by selling products. And of course, if you really want to build a big team, then you get the word of mouth marketing bonus. And instead of explaining commissions, downlines, tiers, levels, most people don't understand that, but everyone understands a word of mouth marketing bonus. So I'll give you an example. If I was a distributor for Apple, because I love Apple, right? I buy iPhones, iPads at the lowest wholesale price. Okay, that's immediate benefit. I mean, if Apple was an MLM company, I would join immediately because I could get the products at a wholesale price. I could get my phones cheaper, right? Now, also, since I recommend and talk about the products, I take pictures, I take selfies on my phone. Some of my friends, hey, you know what? How much do you pay for that phone? And I can recommend that phone. Or tell me more about the phone. Tell me about the special dual lens or what the special memory or whatever you have, right? Or the special speakers or the Thunderbolt connection, the lightning connection, right? Lightning cable and all that. And I can say, hey, if you want it, you can purchase one of the phones. And if they check on my phone, they love it, they purchase it. And then what happens? They purchase it from me. I make a retail profit, right? Now, the third thing is after a while, my friends, they say, hey, Simon gets to buy the Apple products. He gets the iPads, the Apple Watch at the cheapest price. He gets Macs at the cheapest price. I want to be like that too. How can I, buy at the lowest price and make some money by retailing products? Or even they just want to join because they want to get at the cheapest price. They become a distributor. Now, when they become a distributor, how do they even know about it? They heard about it because of me, right? I told them about it. And then I get a word of mouth advertising bonus. Okay. What I just explained to you, go rewind this and listen to it. This is a very simple way to explain how network marketing works. Okay, the three benefits: you get at the wholesale price, you make a retail profit, and then you also get a word of mouth bonus. Good stuff there. Please go back and listen to it. It's the easiest way to explain it. Now let's move on to presenting the company. Presenting the company, there's only 5 things your prospect wants to know. Number 1, obviously the name. Number 2, maybe where the company's based out of, the location. Number 3, how long it's been around. Number 4, maybe some information about the founder. And number 5, most importantly, that it's fun, right? Give them the facts and make it short. Okay, and the details, again, if you want to know more details, more information, it can be covered in the Q&A and in the training. Do people need to know everything about the founder? I mean, let me ask you, do you know everything about your founder before you joined? Probably not. Did you know everything about your company, how long it's been around, the history? Probably not, right? But you did know that a little bit about it, the name, and that it's a lot of fun and maybe has some good products and you can make money. That's what made you join. The details can be covered in a Q&A. If someone's really, one of the analytical type, you can cover that. Or the best way to provide the details is training. Or like a lot of times in a company back office, they have all that info for you. The company probably has lots of videos there for you for that. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If I was talking about a company, I'm just going to make up a company name. Our company name is ABC Company. We are based in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we've been around for 12 years. Our founder's name is John Smith. He was a scientist, and the company is a ton of fun. We do a lot of events. We also do local events. We also get meet people from different countries. It's a ton of fun. Really, really awesome. Okay? That's very simple, and you basically let people know about the company. Now, next is presenting. Now, actually, let me elaborate a little bit more, add something. If you have a longer presentation, you can maybe go a little bit into detail each one of them. Okay, maybe a little bit about the founder or fun activities. Exactly what do you do that make it fun? Okay, a little bit more in details, but you don't need to, not too much. Now, let's talk about presenting the products. What's the most important thing about presenting the products? Okay, the most important thing is not quality. Okay, quality is important. It's not how it's third-party backed, endorsed. Okay, that is important, right? But the most important thing is, does the product sell? Meaning, can your prospect make money if they decide to do the business, right? Quality is not the most important. For example, a Ferrari is a high-quality car, but will they be interested to sell it? Will they have friends that'll be able to afford it? Right? Probably not. So, quality-wise is important, but not the most important part. The most important part is whether they can sell the product. So that's why give examples of the market potential, right? We talked about this in Module 3. You should know the percentage of people using your products. For example, if you're selling weight loss, ask them how many friends do they know want to lose weight. You should also have a number like, for example, in the supplements, over 60% of Americans take some type of supplement in the supplement, right? And you're going to ask them, if you're selling a joint pain or weight loss, do you have any friends that have weight loss? Or you have joint pain? Do you have any aunts or uncles who are a little older, your grandparents or parents who have joint pain and it's bothering them, right? When you do this, you are letting them know that they're going to have immediate customers. You're painting that picture in their mind, which is extremely important, okay? This is also a good time to share a testimonial of how you sold products. Right? So maybe, hey, I have an aunt, her knee was hurting, and I told her, Auntie, I know you wanted to go jogging, go hiking, but you can't. Would you be interested in taking something to help you with your knee pain? And she took it, and now she can hike again. She's really happy, right? This is a really good time for testimonials. Okay? So again, the most important thing about the products, of course, the quality is so important, but it's can they sell? Right? And what a lot of the question I like to ask is always, can you name any friends or family that have blah, 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 a problem that your product can solve? That immediately helps them. And I'll actually sometimes ask them, name them. Do you know anyone? And when they're naming the names, guess what? They're convincing themselves that they can do the business. Now, the next part is presenting the training. Review from Module 3. A prospect has 3 doubts, right? 3 doubts. Why is selling the training so important? Because the prospect always thinks, is this for real? Number 2, can I do this? And number 3, will you help me? Okay, can I do this is the number 1 thing that prevents people from joining. And number 2 is, will you help me? Because most people don't, if they believe 100% that they can do this business, they will all join. So you have to sell the training. So the way to explain the training, there's 2 types of training. Number 1 is an optional classroom training. So I will give examples of local meetings, webinars. So we do local meetings, webinars, events that you can attend. They're all optional. And then the more important training is on-the-job training. The on-the-job training, we are going to have, you set an appointment for contact, and you have a mentor assigned to you. Okay, a mentor assigned to you that will help you train you. And you give it an example. Like when you worked at your job, did you read a manual or did you just watch a supervisor? And they'll say, oh, we watched the supervisor, someone trained me. Exactly. So when you do this business, just like the way you learn how to do your job, you can learn how you can be able to do this business. A mentor will be assigned to you. And that's called on-the-job training. Training is also a great time to share testimonial of what you learned in your business. It's a fantastic time. You can even share how the skills you learn in business has helped your current job or other areas in your life. So for example, I used to be very shy, quiet, but because of this business, I learned to be a better communicator, a better leader, and I actually got raises. Even though I'm building this business part-time, I got a raise in my company. I got promoted because of what I've learned. Or you can say I was a football coach and for kids, and because of the leadership skills I learned, I've learned how to empower and motivate kids and help them better in football now because of this. Right? You can also have like time management. You can talk about better attitude. You can talk about how communications help your marriage, help you become a better parent, and so on. Okay? Share the testimonies. I love it when they share not just about how you make more money in the products, but share how it's helped them in other parts of life. Because most of your prospects, they would just want a quick return, right? They may, again, can I do it? They see, not only am I going to make money, but I may be at my job, stuck at my job for a little bit part-time, doing my job full-time while I'm doing this part-time. This can help my job as well. Maybe I can get a raise as well, right? The last part is presenting the money. Now, they want to know how much does it cost to get started, how much you can earn, and what do they have to do to earn. And again, Asher, you don't need to explain the pay plan, okay? Don't explain the pay plan because it just confuses people. If anyone ever asks about pay plan, show a video. I'm sure your company has a video that explains how the pay plan works. Every company that I've seen has some type of video you can get on YouTube that explains the pay plan, how you get paid. So if someone asks you, so how much does it cost to get started? You can say all it takes is whatever the price of your starter kit is, so say it's $30, and then you try some of the products and buy them the wholesale price. Okay, so most kits are like that. You buy a starter kit and then you try out some products. Okay, you can ask them. You can't recommend any products to your friends without first trying them out, right? You'd be lying, and then that's unethical. That's why we want you to try some of the products. Right? That is how you explain it. Just talk about, hey, whatever the price of the starter kit is, and then add, hey, you just need to try some products, get a starter kit, and you can get started. And if you have problems with why you have to try the products, because you're going to recommend to friends. So you want to try them first. Okay? Now, here's an objection. Actually, we'll cover this more in the objection module. But if someone says, I want to try out the products first, you can say, actually, our company, the best part is when you try out the products, you actually basically almost get the business for free. You get $1 million business for free. You just get a starter kit for like $20, $30 and try out the products, and you get a free business. So not only can you try out the products, you can try out the business at the same time. Now, how much money can you make? Okay, there are 3 income categories. So this is very important for you to explain this to your prospects. Number 1 is the $100 to $200 a month. Okay, number 2 is $300 to $2,000 a month. And number 3, $3,000 to $20,000 a month. Now, why do you break them into 3? Because, again, it's what can be relatable to your prospect. Okay, your prospect may not believable that they can earn, $10,000 a month. They've never earned $10,000 a month in their jobs. So what makes them think they can earn $10,000 doing a business? Well, maybe they never even earned $5,000 a month. And you tell them they can earn $1 million, so $10,000 to be a 6-figure earner. They don't believe you. Again, they're going to think, can I do this? That can I do this doubt is going to come in, creep up. So how do you explain the $100 to $200 a month? So normally I say, in this business, you can earn 3 types of income. You can make $100, $200 a month, $300 to $2,000 a month, or $3,000 to $20,000 a month. Okay, so this is actually how I explain it. So when you get started in the business, so this is for the $100, $200 a month category. When you get started in the business, a lot of people join just to buy the products at wholesale. They like it. And they like that. They think it's smart, and maybe sometimes they sell a little bit of a product to a friend, coworker, neighborhood, relative, and they make $100 to $200 a month. That's why a lot of people join. They just join just to buy at a wholesale and earn an extra $100 to $200 a month. Okay, that's the way you explain the $100 to $200 category. Now, how do you explain the $300 to $2,000 category? And hey, another group of people, they get involved. These are the people who make the $300 to $2,000 a month, and these people put in more time. They work a couple of evenings a week, and maybe sometime on Saturdays. They set up appointments. These people, they may want to earn some extra income for a house, a car, college education, travel. They want a good, solid part-time business, part-time income, and really a person can do a lot of an extra 500, 1,000, or 2,000 extra a month. Now, how to explain the 3,000 to 20,000 a month category? So finally, there's a third group of people who get involved, and these are people that earn 3,000, 10,000, even 20,000 a month. These people work hard. They work the business full time. Okay, maybe they hate the jobs, or maybe they've wanted to be in the business for themselves, or maybe they just want an exciting new career. They work a lot harder. And what I'm saying is that all three groups are available to you. You can pick and choose what you want to do in this business. And the reason also I asked them is, why do you select it? So when you get started, we know how we're going to train you. Okay, so do you want to earn 100? Which category do you think you're best in? 100, 200 a month, 300, 2,000 a month, or 3,000 to 20,000 a month? What would be most appropriate for you? So review. There's 5 things that prospect wants to know: the industry, the company, the products. Can I do it? And then show me the money, right? The money. The effective presentation formula can be used for different formats and length. So the formula and the order is the same, whether it's a 60-second elevator pitch, or 15-minute lunch presentation, or 40-minute group meeting. You follow the same thing: industry, company, products. Can I do it? And then show me the money. Okay, so I'll give you an example of a elevator pitch, a 60-second elevator pitch. And not all times this is used to answer the question, what is it about? Or what is it? Right? You ever got that and you don't know what to say? So here's something you can follow. So you can say, we are in the industry business, right? Our company is the name of the company. We sell the type of products. So I'll fill it in here. I'm just assuming you're in the health and wellness industry. So we're in the health and wellness business. Our company is ABC Company. We sell nutritional products and weight loss, and you can make anywhere from 100 to 200 part-time, to anywhere from 300 to 2,000 a month, or anywhere from 3,000 to 20,000 a month. For training, we can provide optional classroom training, webinar trainings, or we do on-the-job trainings with mentors assigned to you. Is this something you'd be interested to learn more about? Right? Very simple as that. So, let's just say you're in the telecom. So we're in the telecom business. Our company is ABC. We sell mobile phone services, long-distance phone, broadband, and you can make anywhere from 100, 200 a month part-time, to anywhere from 300 to 2,000 a month part-time, or anywhere, if you want to go full-time, 3,000 to 20,000 a month. For training, we provide optional classroom trainings, webinar trainings, or we also do on-the-job trainings where a mentor is assigned to you. Is this something you'd be interested to learn more about? Now, if you have a longer presentation, just like a 15-minute, 20-minute coffee presentation where you meet a prospect for coffee, or you are doing a hotel presentation like 40 minutes. Now, I don't recommend any presentations longer than 40 minutes, right? You make it longer, but not necessarily putting more details, but by adding stories, okay? Share stories and testimonials. And the best way to use them is use stories and testimonials to answer potential objections. That's the best way to answer objection, because if you tell someone, people are probably not going to remember, but people remember the stories, and they're always way more convincing. So a good place to use the testimonial is, number one, before you start. Okay, before you start, you share your story. Okay, before you start a presentation. Also during the products, how the products have helped you. You can share a testimony during the training, during the part where you talk about you selling the training, right? You talk about what you learned and how to help your life. So maybe, like I said, you learned better communication. And not only have you grown your business, but helped you become a better spouse because you communicate with your spouse better. Or you're a better parent because you're communicating with your kids better, right? And number 4, obviously, show me the money. How has the business helped you financially? That's another obvious place to share your testimonial. Now, adding additional information and providing details. You may ask, well, this is so simple. You're not covering that much. What happens if a prospect wants to know more? Now, most people, they don't need to know more than this to make a decision because they're buying out of emotion. Okay, they're buying because they see that what you presented can help them achieve one of their goals and dreams. But sometimes people want more information. Right? So again, you're not boring them because a lot of times more information makes it boring. So don't bore them. Only give information if they need it. So after the presentation, ask your prospect if she's interested to get started. If they have questions, then you could answer, provide details after this effective presentation formula. For example, if you want to know more about the product quality, if you want to know more about the pay plan. And then the best way to answer questions is with a tool. So for example, a pay plan, you can use a video, a product video, a pay plan video. Okay, those are the best tools. So if I'm presenting to someone, see, the cool thing is your prospect may not want to know everything you're presenting. You only present to them what they want to know. So after you do the presentation, maybe your prospect just needs to know about the pay plan and is ready to sign up. So you will not have bored them with all the details about your products and the company. Okay, and vice versa as well. And again, you'll find out afterwards what additional information they need, and then you only present to them what they want, okay, to know. And the best way to do it is tools. So this covers only details your prospects interested in, so it keeps the presentation a lot more interesting and keeps it shorter as well. Now, in terms of formats of media, what's the best type? There's very different types of where you can use this effective presentation format. You can use a newsletter, just cover the 5 parts. You can use a flip chart. You can use a phone call. By the way, almost every company presentation that the company's made follows these 5 things. The only problem is it's normally way too long. Okay, so but you can for a flip chart, you can make your own flip charts. You can use a phone call. You can do a phone presentation through this. Your upline. Like if you look at the upline script we cover in module 3, it covers this exact effective presentation formula. If you do a webinar, okay, you can do this format longer. If you do a PowerPoint with a laptop, PowerPoint with iPad. So which one should you use? You should always use the most duplicatable format. So if you're presenting to someone like my father who doesn't really know how to use PowerPoints or the iPad that well, if you do an iPad presentation, you are going to confuse him. And again, the big doubt is, can I do this? Right? The 3 doubts. Can I do this? And he's going to say, I can't do this. And you're going to lose him. So you probably have to go old school and use a newsletter presentation for him or a flip chart. Right? Now, if you're presenting to one of my friends who's a corporate executive, if you use a newsletter, he's going to think it's not professional. You will need to use like a laptop presentation or something on the iPad. All right, so think about always use what's most duplicatable for your prospect. Can your prospect do the exact same presentation as you did with basically little training on how to use that tool? So because I have to train my dad to use a computer or PowerPoint, that's not duplicatable. Right? Which one is the most easy for them to use, and they also respect that method. So, for example, a CEO may not respect a newsletter, they will respect a webinar or respect an online video or a presentation done through a computer. Now, if you use a newsletter or flip chart like the company provides, you don't need to go cover to cover to talk about everything. It's extremely boring. And I'm sure you've been to many of these boring presentations, right? So again, what do you talk about? You talk only about the 5 points, but you can reference the newsletter and the flip chart. So if you're talking about the product part, you can go to the newsletter really quickly or the part of the magazine, a flip chart, and just point to those slides. But you do not need to go through every one of those slides. Just go through the 5 points. Again, the benefits of effective presentation formula, you will convert way better because it's simple, it's short, it is relevant. Again, because it only covers details that your prospect's interested in. You're not talking about everything. Again, if there's something that they want to know, you get it at the end after the presentation. You ask them if you have any questions. You fill out the questions they have, and then you use the tool. Most important, it's not boring because you're using a lot of storage. You're keeping short. People are time-starved nowadays. Maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people can sit through an hour presentation. Now, people are used to watching 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos, like those Vine 6-second videos, right? People's attention spans are really short. They're not going to sit through an hour presentation. You're going to bore them. So that's why you got to keep it simple. And the effective presentation formula, because it's simple, it's also duplicatable. So as a review, remember there's 5 things a prospect wants to know. These are only 5 things. And when you present, whether it's a short elevator pitch to a longer 40-minute presentation, it follows the same format. 5 things. Number 1, the industry. Number 2, the company. Number 3, the products. Number 4 is, can I do this? Can I do it? And number 5 is, show me the money. How much money I can make. This is the effective presentation formula. Be familiar with it. Extremely useful. Start practicing it, and you see your prospects will be more interested, and you sign up a lot more prospects in your presentations.